Hey, yo, what's up? This is Ice-T. Right now, you're watching and listening to Overdrive. All right, act like you know, motherfucker.
All right, you are watching Overdrive.ie, and I am joined by the man himself, Mr. Dani Filth. How are you, Danny? Great to see you again.
I'm very well, thank you.
Excellent. Just as we were preparing for the interview, there we're just saying that there are a lot of things happening with Cradle of Filth at the moment. And you just mentioned that single there. Obviously, it just came out earlier this week, "Malignant Perfection." I'm assuming that, I mean, this is the beginning of the campaign with this first single, and there will be, would it be right to say that there could possibly be another one or two more singles before April?
There definitely will be two more videos. We're working on the second one as we speak, or the director is. We already filmed the band portion of it. They're going to get, more glossy, I suppose, and cinematic as we go along.
Are you using the same director?
Ascente. Yes, we are. Yeah, absolutely. We get comfortable with people, and I know people say you should move out your comfort zone. We do, but with the same people. I mean, you move out your comfort zone in your own body, but you're still in your own body. So these vessels, this director, producer, whatever, we approach everything with a different viewpoint, a different outlook, different techniques, for example. It's just, it gets the best out of us. I get very used to, and not too comfortable, because I never get comfortable doing a video. It's always, long hours and a little bit hectic. We can rack each other's brains, and it's easy for him to get the best out of us.
In terms of say Easter eggs and looking for hints of things and whatnot, there's a lot going on in this video. I'm like, what were you influenced by? What's the theme? What were you kind of obsessing over, I suppose, maybe when you were writing everything?
Lots of things inspire us. It was just a new epoch for the band. We've been very busy of late. The album took a while to record because we kept going off on tour. Subsequently this year, we've done a lot of touring. Just came back from Australia a few weeks back. Before that was 2 lots of summer festival runs. Yeah, so we've been really, really busy. Going to be busy again with a new album. And I guess we get inspiration from traveling, people we meet, places we visit. Obviously massive fans of movies, horror movies in particular, soundtracks. The influence comes from all over the place, and the new album's a step in the right direction from Existence is Futile. Obviously we had Trouble in Their Double Lives in between that, and we aired a couple of songs that may have shown which direction we wanted to go in at that point. So there's some really old school type stuff on the album, very sort of dissection-esque. There's some more catchier stuff like the first single, obviously.
Yeah,
it's real.
It's very catchy, that first single, actually. Caught me by surprise.
We wanted to do something that people could remember. Yeah, it's not everybody's cup of tea, but then fuck them. That's not
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we write music for ourselves first and foremost, and then our fans. And and everybody else can go to hell. I see comments like, "Oh my god, this isn't black metal, strayed so much from it." It's like, nothing. Same people who say that sort of thing weren't even born when we were doing like Prince Empire. And then I read things when people go, "Oh yeah, I love that first tour of Emperor. I saw you in Edinburgh." It was, and the amount of people that saw us in Edinburgh is amazing. Seeing there's only 4 people at the show, and that's true. 4 people at the show, and yet
everyone's now claiming to be there. Yeah. So, obviously, this is the debut album with Napalm Records, the debut studio album, because the live album is obviously coming out through Napalm. When you're changing labels like that, is there any apprehension about things like that, or was it just a really smooth, nice transition and a great relationship?
We're managed by Dez Fafara and Anastasia, his wife. Dez is a Cold Chamber, and
of course,
DevilDriver. He's one of my best friends, great entrepreneur. He's got so many good ideas, so many contacts. We speak daily, and he just makes sure that the transition, we know what we're doing well ahead of time. And we never leave somewhere, you know, in disarray or bad blood or anything like that. It's a smooth transition. And people may look at our history and go, oh my God, they had so many, you know, lineup changes and they've been on so many labels. It's like, well, yeah, variety is a spice of life. And you've got to, you know, put one bold foot forward and explore, because you're only here for so many years.
Yeah.
And it's no fucking different from, you know, working anywhere, to be honest. I think we've only sacked 3 people in our career. People leave for all kinds of reasons. Like, it's a very taxing situation, very full on. Some people just can't handle it. Some people want to start families. Other people, they think they can do it better on their own. And Godspeed to that.
Collaborations. I love the fact that what you said earlier around, if you don't like it, go fuck yourself, because that is just the way that everybody should be when it comes to being creative. But your collaborations with the likes of Ed Sheeran and Bringing the Horizon, I mean, it's been reported till the end.
Yeah, I mean, I like the thing is, people always bemoan that. Well, not everybody does, actually. The majority of people love it. It's just the minority. But the fact of it is, they say, oh my God, you're not being true to the scene. It's like, actually, we've been true to ourselves.
Yeah.
And also, juxtaposition, I like. I mean, there's no point, and not saying we're ruling it out because we've got plans for other things. There's no point doing a collaboration with another band that sounds exactly the same. And I like the marriage of extremes. The Ed Sheeran thing's amazing. It really is. It's done, dusted, ready for release, as and when. You know, when he's not doing something, when we're not doing something. The Bring Me the Horizon thing was good. I did a thing with Twisted, 69 Eyes. Yeah, I mean, I turned down loads of other things as well. But yeah, it's like, that's going to be interesting. I can't see how it's going to happen, and since I can't see how it's going to work, I think, yeah, this is definitely worth trying.
It was like,
the Horizon thing is actually brilliant because my daughter is a massive fan.
Yeah.
Them and Ollie, and Ollie invited me up to Drop Dead, and then we did a collaboration with Drop Dead as well up in Sheffield, and he was like, you know, the record company wanted us to do a lyric video, but fucking lyric video is so dull. And I was like, yeah, we don't fucking hate them. They're just like, it's just a cheap and cheerful way of you know, getting something out. So he said, we just want to do something different. So they had this whole idea of me just
in a supermarket.
Yeah, and it was a live supermarket. We didn't close it. And my daughter came up with me, had a great day there, and got treated like royalty. And she's in the video doing a bit of shopping.
I didn't know that. Oh, that's very cool.
That was worthwhile, even the single, you know, even before we actually did the single. I mean, the single was already done, but you know what I mean.
As far as live album goes, I'm a big fan of them. In terms of the mixing and putting all that together and lining up the recording of the show and making sure that it's okay. Was that a kind of a smooth process for you, or was it like a pain in the ass?
It wasn't a pain in the ass, but it was quite lengthy.
Yeah.
It originated because we didn't realise that our sound engineer had been recording a load of shows, and he played some back one day and went, oh my God, that's great. They said, you thought about doing another live album? I said, I hadn't, no, because we've been too busy doing other albums. And he said, well, you ought to, because the last one was like 21 years ago or something. And I went, yeah, I think it's about time to do it. And I had this title, Trouble and Their Double Lives, which implied it had to be a double live record, and it was about time for that. And also it was post-pandemic, and we had a couple of songs that didn't have a place on any albums, so we thought we'd just combine the whole lot. The most difficult thing wasn't about the production or anything like that. It was really about deciding a set list, because we had to wade through, I don't know, about 50, 60 shows that he'd recorded, and we were like going, well, even though it was 22 years ago, we did this song, and people want to hear this song, we've done that song, and I want to put this on here, and that was the hardest part of it. And then trying to get it to balance out as well.
Did it open up, the nostalgia treasure chest in your brain when you were going through those tracks, going, oh my God, like, did it lead to extra, I actually remember arriving at the venue and this incident happened, and like,
yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Absolutely. Nostalgia's a massive part of being in a band.
Yeah.
And I I know it sounds weird, but I rarely listen to any of our old albums. As soon as we do a new one, that's the one I listen to. But then when you start having to learn a set, like for this new tour, for example, or revisit and I sound like I'm a master of this, but we've only done 2 live albums, so I have no idea what I'm talking about. But when you have to revisit like stuff you played before, you go, oh my God, yeah. And obviously you want to make sure you played it properly, so you have to listen to the album to go, oh yeah, I've totally fucked that up.
With the shows that you did in Australia and then this tour that's coming up now, are there going to be different set lists?
Yeah, I mean, they're different set lists.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is everything going to be new on this tour? Like when you walk out on stage, is there going to be a new production to go with it, or
we've got new lighting and new things to do, and whatever, eclectic set list, great billing. It's not like the bands all sound like us. It's quite an eclectic bill. We've got Butcher Babies, High Parasite, which is Aaron from My Dying Bride's new band. We actually requested those guys. So I heard one track that some guy played me like a year ago in LA, and I was like, wow, this is so cool. And then there's a band called Black Satellite, which have toured with us in the States before. Everybody's very visual and cinematic, and yeah, it's gonna be great.
In terms of the evolution of quote unquote, and I hate tags, extreme metal, extreme music, and you have been at the forefront of that. In a lot of ways, I would say you've grown up very much in the public eye in that domain, which has to be difficult. But where you see everything now in terms of that genre of music and how other bands are kind of interacting with each other, do you feel that it's matured quite a lot?
Well, I definitely haven't matured, that's for sure. Physically, maybe. Mentally, just walking backwards my whole life. Social media platforms, the way people listen to music nowadays, the digitized, aged, etc. The things are blent together. And I think the same applies to scenes as well. He gets all these I mean, I didn't even know. When somebody said there was a part of a scene called Black Gaze, I was like, ooh, hello. What's that? It sounds ominous. It's like horror movies as well. It's like everything's got a little bit more extreme and accessible. I mean, for example, we've just done a big collaboration with a huge fashion house. I know it sounds ridiculous, but called Vitamin, who actually paraded the Jesus is a Cunt t-shirt, a Paris fashion show. In fact, I'm going to go to one. I think they're trying to get me to walk the catwalk. I'll be like the shortest one there. But there was all the famous names there and stuff, and people go, "Oh my God, you're dragging it into the spotlight of them." It's like, fucking yes, you want that. This is what's happening. You don't want to be like, "Oh, I'm the person. Oh, I only like depressive one-man black metal," and then as soon as somebody else likes it, they go, "Oh no, they've sold out." They sold out before their first demo. I used to go out with people like that. It's pathetic. Stuff does reach a certain audience, then it's never going to progress. There's going to be no money in it, so bands aren't going to be able to do any albums. Yeah. I mean, there's no money in music anymore anyway. When you tour, visas for America have gone up. Brexit's fucked a load of things. Fuel prices gone up. Gas prices have gone up. Lots of friends of mine in different bands. We're not going to name them because they're big bands, that literally are close to jacking it in. And in fact, some of them kind of have. And if you've not noticed some albums by bands coming out, you'll know why. It's because people are just like, I'm just going to write code for fucking computer games now because I get paid for it. When I was young, I wanted all my rock stars in fucking Ferraris and, driving them into swimming pools. And it was kind of like that, to be honest. I wanted everybody to be like Blackie Lawless or, Steven Tyler. That's the way I wanted it. I wanted to be cool. I wanted people to live in fucking haunted mansions and before they get up in the morning doing so much coke they blow the head off. Obviously, it's a bad thing, kids. Don't take it.
We don't advocate that here, but yeah, I get.
We're doing as a sort of thing.
I know what you're saying, but like that era is just completely gone. It's so.
Yeah, I want to see bands that are overboard. I want to see people. Going to see things like Rammstein and Kiss, and they want to see a performance. They don't want to go see jeans and t-shirts anymore. You want metal to be, wham bang, real fucking spectacle. and yeah, it's getting more and more difficult to do anything nowadays. So I think it's cool doing these things and bringing it and doing these things. You know, Ed Sheeran, who would ever have fucking thought that? I mean, I still keep in contact with him. He turned up at our studio completely opposite of what you'd think. No entourage, no bodyguards. He just turned up on his own, guitar on his back, bought his wife's incognito mini estate, the amphetamine hoodie on. Me, him and the producer spent a wonderful day doing the song, and then we went to the local pub to have a slap up, you know, Sunday lunch or whatever it was. It was really low key and completely in opposite to, you know, the enormity of him as a pop star, and it was cool because of that.
As of now, are there any non-musical projects that you are working on?
I've got a couple of literary things coming out eventually. Still working on my poetry book. I just keep putting it to one side or nicking bits for lyrics and stuff like that. I think there's an autobiography, but by the time that comes out, I would have written another one. We've got there was a cartoon thing that we've got going, and
then you had the comics as well. I know you had the comics.
Yeah, there's some filmy type things that are in their tentative stages as well. Another musical project. They all sound so tenuous because the thing is, with new management, which, you know, we've had Dez now for about 6 years, and COVID took 2 of those away. We're just so busy as a band. I mean, we've literally got next year and the year after being all penciled in. Wow. And that's, you know, we've got to have a normal life as well. I mean,
well, anyway, listen, Dani, thank you for your time and the great catch up about all those things we spoke about. And yeah, the future is looking incredibly exciting for Cradle of Filth and this new album that's coming out. We're all waiting for that. Yeah, very, very exciting. So listen, thank you so much for your time and really appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you very much.